Welcome to my home. I am so excited to have you here today. It's our spring show, and I could not be more thrilled to be doing this. I know I've done just a small handful of these, but I have to tell you girls, this one is already my favorite. I just feel it. I know it. I have so many awesome gems and treasures to share with you today. And if you know me, you know that I am all about sharing the goods, like the stuff that makes my life easier and simpler and helps me to live a happier, healthier life and just brings me joy. That's what I want to share with you, and that's what I've got for you today. So come on in. I'm so excited to welcome you into my home. I want you to get comfy and cozy. And if you're like my daughters or my husband, feel free to take off your pants. It's a judgment-free zone here. I just want you to be able to soak up all the goodness that I've got for you today. So come on in and let's have some fun. So I have nicknamed this episode my Wabi Sabi episode. And if you haven't heard of Wabi Sabi, I'm so excited and so honored to be able to share it with you because it is such a beautiful, meaningful term. And I think it's incredibly applicable to our everyday life. And I'm really thrilled to be able to share it with you. And if you're already using it and you've already adopted this mantra or mentality, I can't wait to hear from you because it has quickly become one of my favorite words, not just because it is so fun to say, Wabi Sabi. So Wabi Sabi it's a term, it's an idea of finding beauty in all the imperfections in our life, in everything from nature to our surroundings, to our houses and homes, to relationships, parenting, and really, most importantly, with ourselves. Finding the beauty in all the imperfection, in all the mess that is of life. And how powerful is that, right? So Wabi Sabi is a Japanese term, and it means wisdom and natural simplicity. And it's more frequently referred to as flawed beauty. Who doesn't love to honor something that gives homage to flawed beauty? So that's the definition, but I want to share with you how I am embracing Wabi Sabi in my daily life because there are many opportunities to embrace the mess in our everyday lives because there is no shortage of imperfections, that is for sure. And so what it looks like for me is just even this week, we have been at softball game after softball game, and they're long and sometimes they're cold and wet and rainy and exhausting. And I frequently will find the aftermath of softball games, and that looks like a layer of dirt and dust and stinky socks in areas that we should not have them. And so sometimes we've had the opportunity to bring others and extra kids back to the house, which only adds to that layer of dust and dirt. And so my idea of where Wabi Sabi comes in is seeing and changing the perspective instead of looking at the mess or the imperfections of any of the dirt that comes in with that, is that this is a life force that welcomes others. And this is the season that we're in to be able to be together and to be active and to be outside and enjoying each other's company and rooting for one another. And so it really is this idea of giving us permission as moms, as women, to let go of these expectations where everything has to look a certain way, where everything has to fall into place. And right now, it might look clean right here, but it's not. It's not. I have a sink full of dishes and Wabi Sabi. That's because we were up late last night watching shows, binge watching things that we should have been doing, like maybe the chores and things like that. But I know that I will never regret playing all out. And I frequently bring it back to my dad, whose life was cut too short at 45 years old. And so as we have a hard time, or some of us might, struggle with aches and pains or complaints about skin and aging and the whole process, I just think if we can switch our perspective to finding the beauty in growing older and all the mess that it brings with, that's where we know that we're playing all out and we're living a much richer, fuller life for showing up and for embracing the mess that is our life. And it's a beautiful thing to be okay and to accept the mess that comes with living full out. I am going to share with you my immune boosting morning routine. Okay, so I just want you to pretend that we are up in my bedroom. That would probably be a little awkward and creepy. So we're going to just stay down here in my family room, but Benson is already happily sleeping just like he does when I am in bed. So I am going to walk you through my morning routine that sets me up for success. And the reason why I want to share this morning routine is because we are going into that season where the kids are getting out of school. And I know what you're thinking. Did they ever really go to school? And I know for some of you, they actually didn't. And I am truly so sorry. It has been one heck of a year for us all since last spring. That is for sure. But hopefully we've all made it through and we're stronger for it. And I know that I made a promise. Remember those quiet, desolate days where all you heard was the strange TikTok videos going on and the really annoying gaming devices 24/7, right? I made a promise in those days that I was never going to complain about our overscheduled, crazy lives. And so I do plan on keeping to that. But as we are going into this busy season of activities, no school, and being more unstructured, right? I find that my morning routine is so incredibly it's essential to setting up my day. And so I like to be super intentional about setting up the first 5 to 10 minutes of my day where it's prioritizing my health, which for me is so important to me. And it sets me up because I believe how we start and set up our day is how our day goes and how our day ends. So super quick, all right? I would like to share that I just wake up when the birds chirp and no alarm is necessary. That could not be farther from the truth, okay? Quick fun fact that I'm gonna share and disclose is that my younger self, I had a best friend in elementary school that woke me up every day by calling me. And she learned very early on that the first call didn't take. And so she would actually, what an amazing friend, right? She would call back like 25 minutes later and be like, Casey, get out of bed. You're going to be late. And then that call did it. Like I woke up. So that is how grateful time started for me. And I have kept it every day since then. And so it only seems right to share my actual wake up. And what that looks like is I set my alarm about 45 minutes before I actually need to get up. And so my alarm goes off and I turn it off and I literally say to myself, and this is for decades now, I say to myself, oh, I'm so grateful I don't have to get up right now. And I happily go back to bed for the next 45 minutes. Now, I am by no means, this is no health hack. This might actually be detrimental to like your sleep cycle. But for me, it really does work. And so I know that many of you are going, oh my gosh, when I hear a noise or after I get up, I'm totally up. I think I get my best sleep in that 45-minute grateful time period. Dave has not adopted it, but both my girls have. So there's a lot of grateful time alarms going off in this house. That can be a little frustrating, I guess, if it's not your thing. But so once I get up, once my second alarm goes off, I do pop out of bed. And now I want to share with you what I do immediately before I even head downstairs. So I brush my teeth, and then I'm going to share with you something called oil pulling. Have you ever heard of it? I'll be so curious to know if some of you are already oil pulling. You certainly do not need a coconut oil this big to do oil pulling, but it's super cost effective. It's from Costco and it sits under our sink in the bathroom. And so I keep a clean spoon next to it that I just wash every time I use it. And we know with coconut oil that it hardens and solidifies in the colder temperatures and it liquefies in the warmer temperatures. So it's all the same. Once it gets mixed in your mouth, it starts to liquefy. But how you want to do oil pulling, well, actually, let me back up. Oil pulling is something that has been around for thousands of years, okay? I believe it began in India. Thousands of years ago, it really emerged here in the United States in like the 1990s. And it's a very powerful way to detox through our mouth. Our mouth is just, it holds and harbors so much bacteria. I think I've read up to like 700 strains of bacteria in our mouth. And so many of those are not great for us and they could be potentially harmful. along with pulling out toxins and debris. And so how oil pulling works is you can use either coconut oil or sesame oil is also great for it, either one. You can find combinations that mix them that are in a really nice pre-liquid. Some use like essential oils and things like that. They're really nice. But because of cost effectiveness and ease, I just stick to this. And so you take out a tablespoon and you swish it in your mouth. And ideally, you want to work up to like 5 or 10 minutes. Now, some people go longer and some people certainly go shorter. I always say start with baby steps. The first minute I tried this, it felt like, whoa, super weird, right? And so I have worked up to 5 minutes. I'm going to share in just a minute what I do at the same time that I oil pull, because you know, mamas, we're all about multitasking. So even in my immune boosting morning, I am multitasking. So when you put it in your mouth, your saliva will start to mix with it and it will start to feel fuller. So you want to use less than you think. And if you need to spit some of it out because it gets fuller in your mouth, just FYI of a 40-year-old home, you don't want to spit it in your drain. You definitely want to spit it in the garbage. So sometimes I do need to spit out a little bit and then I just keep swishing around, okay? It's fabulous for all of your oral hygiene. And the older I get, the more I value really good oral hygiene. So just to name a few things, yes, it helps to pull out those toxins and that bacteria that's in your mouth. It also helps to fight cavity and plaque formation. I have found that hugely helpful. It really helps to strengthen, and it's really good at inflammation for the gums. I know that originally that's what prompted me to look into this. I was having a lot of inflammation of my gums, which can be really hard, and some of the things that you need to get done is not so, it's painful. And so that's one thing. Also, it helps tremendously with bad breath and teeth whitening. So I would attest to all of those being great beneficial things for me. And so that is why I have picked this up as one of my daily routines that I've done now for years. So while I am doing the oil pulling, okay, because nobody can talk to me, I'm not talking, and usually I'm alone upstairs in my bathroom just swishing around my oil. So while I'm doing that, I do my dry brushing. Again, I will be so curious. Please connect with me and let me know if you are a dry brush fan. So dry brushing is, it's all about the lymphatic system. And I am not trying, you do not need to adapt my routine, my morning routine. I am hoping to give you some ideas to get curious and some things that inspire you that are of your priority list. For me, I know that our immune system lies in our lymphatic system, okay? That is what helps to keep us well. That is what helps to keep flushing out the toxins. And so truly, I think it's so important and it's so beneficial to do some dry brushing. Now, you don't want to just willy-nilly dry brush, okay? So there's definitely YouTube videos. I always say I am an avid reader and researcher of all things health and wellness, but I am not a doctor, though I do like to play one on TV. But feel free to connect with me offline and I can answer some questions for you or point you in the direction of some better tutorials. But I want to share with you some benefits that dry brushing has. First, it stimulates the lymphatic system and really stimulates that flow of moving those toxins out, which really helps to get our white blood cells and to get everything moving and working in our immune system. And so there has been so many studies that show that it reduces inflammation, that it helps with cell turnover. It certainly makes you silky and smooth, that's for sure. It declogs pores. It really helps with energy and clarity, just to name a few. And so it's been very beneficial in my life to do this practice. And so I want to share with you that you always want to be flowing towards your heart because that is the way the flow moves. So I like to break it into sections and you can start at your toes to your ankles, okay? So it would just be like this. You want to find yourself a dry brush. It shouldn't hurt, okay? It's kind of a firmer brush, but it shouldn't be leaving scratches or marks. So you want to start with your toes to your ankles And then you want to do ankles to knees, but you always want to be going in forward motions. You're never going back down. Okay, that would be counteractive. So you want to be going up to the knee in these forward firm motions. And then you're going from your knees to your upper part of your thighs. Okay, I'm going to stand up here for this. Knees to the thighs. Okay, and then you come back and do it on the other side. Toes to ankle, ankles to knees, knees to right there in your groin area. So the lymphatic system is really amazing at drainage. And so we want to think of those as like drainage ducts. Right there, moving the lymph from your legs up into where your groin area is. The right side obviously draining into your right groin, the left draining into your left. As you can hear, Benson has woken up. So this is when he starts to tell me, I'd like to go outside. 1 minute, Ben. And so that is draining your legs and helping to get that flow and circulation. That's another huge benefit that I forgot to say is circulation and blood flow. So powerful. Now let's move up to our arms. And so our arms, same thing. We're actually going to be doing downward strokes because we're coming down to our heart. So downward strokes, not back up. Downward strokes, nice and smooth. All right. And on our left arm inside, we are draining into the armpit area, another lymph duct, okay, that we are going to have drainage area. So we are kind of bringing that down into the armpit area. Same with on the right side is going to go into the right armpit. Our belly area, stomach and chest, you want to think of it almost as like a quadrant, okay? And so we're going to be able to like draw almost like a T, whereas below the belly button is actually going to be split into sides and go into the side of the groin area that it aligns with. And above the belly button area is same thing. If it's on the left side, it's going to come around up the chest into this armpit, and the right one will come around the chest and up into this armpit. Our upper chest, you can kind of side sweep it into the armpits or you can bring it up to these, your collarbone areas. These are drainage ducts. So you can also sweep up into the ducts. Okay, so that is my first 5 minutes of waking up. So I will be oil pulling and then I will be dry brushing. I have 2 different brushes. I really like this one. It just gives me a little bit more control. You can get it at Target or online. I will share some links. I love this one for doing the body right here in front of me. And I like this one for doing my back. And again, you're just pulling it up and over from the back. You're gonna come into these ducts up here, and anything from the side, you're gonna bring up into the armpit areas. So again, it just is such a fabulous way to get yourself, firstly, it certainly helps to wake you up, but to get that circulation moving, to help with inflammation, there's just no downside to doing it. So if you haven't tried it, please reach out. Let me know if you're going to and if you want to. And then I'm gonna share one more part of my morning routine before you want to go downstairs and get yourself a big glass of water. So now it's time to spit out my coconut oil into the garbage and jump on the rebounder. And then the last part of my immune boosting morning routine is really my favorite, which is the rebounder. So a rebounder is just a mini trampoline. So I actually have this one that came from my bedroom upstairs, and then I actually have one in the basement as well. There is pretty much, this is good for absolutely everything. It certainly helps to wake me up in the morning, but it really helps to once again to help and aid in that moving of the lymph system, which we've just activated now. So it really helps to get those toxins out and the waste and all of the stuff that can get clogged in our lymphatic system. And so everything from clarity, extra energy, focus. I know that I have read that it benefits a reduction in cellulite. I can just assure you that I still have a fair amount of that, so I'm not going to speak to that. But if it's helping, bonus. But it's really good for inflamed joints. They say that the bouncing movement actually helps to strengthen the bones. And so that is so beneficial for so many of us. As far as with the pelvic floor health, I mean, hey, women, I think we all need all the help we can get in the pelvic floor area. And so it really helps with strengthening that. And it can help with incontinence and all of those things that we don't want to talk about, but they do happen. And so what it looks like is I just jump on here. I keep these little light weights just for a little extra bang for the buck. And I will do some crazy fun things that just embarrass the heck out of my kids. But this is when I jump on my rebounder for like 2 to 5 minutes. I tell my Alexa usually to play Good Morning Life. And then the whole family knows that mom is up and she means business. And so it's just a fabulous way to start the day. I will keep the jumping to a minimum, but like sometimes I'll just do some jogs. Sometimes I'll try to act like I'm doing some kind of like jazzercise, you know, like the old me that would make little videos being like, I'm forgetting her name, but one of the jazzercise women. And so it's really fun. I find the little extra weights, these are just 2-pound weights. They just are a little strengthening exercise. One fun fact about the rebounder is that they say that it burns 50% more fat than running. So fancy that, because I have no interest in running. And so I just pop on it upstairs or downstairs several times a day. It kind of gets your heart rate up, it gets the blood flow moving, it's getting that circulation moving and all that waste and byproduct moving and flowing. And so I just wanted to share my morning routine with you. You know, I'm hoping that some of this might be helpful. If you're even curious, I say look into any of this, but really it's just about hoping to inspire you to look at your morning routine and to set it up where you're owning your day, right? Where you're setting yourself up for success. Because for me personally, I know that if I am not in a good headspace, if I am not taking care of myself, everything in my life just feels so much harder to deal with. And so these 3 simple steps in the morning really set me up to have a really successful day and to feel like I'm prioritizing my health. So I hope that you give them a try and let me know what you think. Okay, so now I've got you in pretty much my favorite place, the kitchen. So upstairs, well, I guess kind of more in the family room today, I shared with you my quick 5-minute immune boosting practices that I like to do every day. But now I want to share with you my tasty immune boosters, okay? And so my philosophy, I usually have a smoothie in the morning on the daily basis. And the reason I like to do that is because first of all, I really I believe that you crave what you eat often. So I feel like this sets my day up to just wanting to eat more healthily, not always, but sometimes. And really, I love that it feels like anything nutritionally charged after this is just bonus. Because after I get in all this goodness, I feel like kind of like a hero in the food department. And then I'm just really like at ease. And so I want to walk you through, this looks like a lot, and you don't need to have this army of superfoods, okay? Start small, start with baby steps. But I want to share some tips and some tricks that I have learned to making a smoothie taste really good, because I don't eat things and I don't drink things if they don't taste good. So I'm going to start with my regular smoothie, and that is going to be, for me, almond milk. I do about 3/4 to a cup of almond milk, unless I know that the kids are still home and they're going to want some, and then I make larger batches. So this is the almond milk from Costco. It's organic, really any kind of milk, nut milk, dairy milk, whatever you like. It all works. I like Costco prices, so that's a benefit. So then we're going to jump into, this is also from Costco, and this is the Vital Proteins. It is collagen peptides. It's so good. I mean, you can put this in pancake mix. You can put it in waffle or brownie mixes. Okay, so 2 scoops of this is gonna give you 20 grams of protein. And I love it because it's filled with great ingredients. And the one thing, it doesn't have to be this brand, though I love the price point, and of course it's at Costco, but I just want to encourage you to look at any of the ingredients that you're putting in your body on a daily basis as like a staple, like this is for me. You want to pay close attention to it. Do you know what those words are? Can you pronounce them? Are they real foods? Because there's a lot of protein powders and mixes out there that are doing more harm than good, and you'd be better off not doing a protein powder. And so I'm also gonna share that with you. You don't have to add in a protein powder, and lots of days I don't, because lots of days I wanna make this smoothie and have it with eggs and have it with something else. And so this is one option. This is what I like to use, but you certainly don't need a protein powder. But if you're gonna do one, check the back, check the ingredients, and make sure that it's good ingredients, okay? So we're gonna move that to the side. So we've got my protein powder in there. Oh, and I just used 1 scoop, if you notice that, because I like to add in these additional extra highly nutritious superfoods. I don't need the 2 scoops of protein because I'm gonna pick up some more along the way. So now we've got our chocolate. Then I'm gonna go to my fruit options, okay? And that, we have a lot of options. I'm loving the chocolate and cherry version of my smoothies. So these are organic cherries from Costco. I hope you can appreciate that I did not pick up new bags for the taping of this. I'm just sharing what I got, but I love the cherries. Chocolate and cherry is pretty much always a go-to, can't go wrong. But we've got frozen strawberries, frozen blueberries. Now, we've got 2 types of bananas you might see here. I'm gonna explain why. So frozen bananas are always gonna be a go-to in our house to put in a smoothie, okay? My kids love it. I don't usually go this route, but we have it for multiple of reasons. Lots of people like it. Now, this is maybe something you haven't seen before. These are actually, they were green, okay? They were green, unripe bananas when I bought them. And so we'll put that right there. What I did when I got home from the store, Costco, is I wiped them off. I buy them organic. When I am gonna keep the skin on them, I buy them organic because I wipe them off and then I cut them. They are frozen. They were in a baggie. And so I like to add these to my smoothies for 2 reasons. One is unripe green bananas have one of the highest amounts of resistant starch that you can possibly get. Resistant starch is super powerful for helping to heal your gut lining and helping everything in your gut. And you can buy it in like a powder form, but if I can ever get my nutrients in food, I'm gonna go that route first. It also is not gonna have the same sugar content that a ripe banana is gonna have. And so for me, I love that I'm getting all of that gut health, and it's gonna make my smoothie really creamy without the added sugar and flavor of a banana. Because remember, I want that chocolate cherry flavor. So I usually add about a half of my resistant starch here, which is again, frozen, unripe green bananas. And then I have a couple options to show you for greens. So if I'm making it for me, sometimes it'll be kale. Not everybody wants kale in their smoothie, and that's okay. You can go with any option. I'm gonna share that one of my favorite ways for beginners is to go with frozen spinach. Spinach has a very, very little flavor, okay? It's not gonna be so off-putting, and it's frozen, so again, it helps to give that creamier texture. I don't ever put ice cubes in my smoothie because I don't wanna just water it down. I like a really rich, flavorful, creamy smoothie, and so I would rather use it by putting in frozen. So I've got some of my frozen unripe bananas for the green starch or the resistant starch. I've got some spinach in here today. Another option I want to share with you that I do frequently is frozen riced cauliflower. Now this is from Trader Joe's. You can pick it up anywhere. Again, not doing the ice cubes. I just don't like the taste and the flavor, and if I don't drink it right away, it just gets really watery quickly. This is gonna be packed with nutrients from your cauliflower, right? Like servings of vegetable right first thing in the morning. And it's gonna give that creamier, milkier, kind of a milkshake taste and texture to your smoothie. So this is another fabulous option if you're trying to stay away from the frozen banana, maybe the sweetness. This isn't gonna give you that, but it's gonna give you the creamy texture. So love that. Now I've got my base and it's kind of time to have fun with the add-ins. So I just wanna quickly walk through these. You certainly, like I said, you don't need them all. A go-to first and foremost is the powdered peanut butter. This is again from Costco. I use this for so many different things. If you see on my stories, I'm using this to put on Skinny Pop. I use this to put, of course, on apples. I've made bananas dipped in this sprinkled with chocolate chips. I don't need it and want it in my smoothie today, but it would be fabulous. It's a great combo to do with bananas, with strawberry. We call it like the peanut butter and jelly smoothie. So this is a fabulous add-on. And powdered peanut butter, again, is not going to have the fat and calories that regular peanut butter does. And not shaming regular peanut butter. I have a fair amount of regular peanut butter. But sometimes when I'm adding it in my smoothie, I don't want all of that density. Okay, so now we're going to go to, my friend, the chia seeds. Chia seeds are powerhouse nutrition. They have all the essential amino acids that our body needs, and they are filled with fiber, protein. I just want to put out there that it keeps you fuller, longer, and very regular in that department by adding these. So they are not calorie dense, okay? About a spoonful is all I need. And this is where you've maybe seen some recipes for chia puddings, because once they get wet, they absorb and they thicken up. You know, I'm all about the thickness. So again, they make it really creamy. They have a great texture to it, and they're filled with protein and fiber. 8 grams of fiber in this bad boy in just a serving. So now we're gonna move over to hemp seeds. Hemp seeds is a great clean protein, okay? So I hope you're seeing you do not need a protein powder to add to any of this, okay? Because here we go, again, great protein, rich in all of the amino acids, really, really good for, you know, skin, hair, nails, all those things that we want to be radiant. And coupled with the hemp seeds is gonna be flaxseed. Flaxseed truly is a powerhouse superfood here. And if there's one thing to maybe try to adopt, it doesn't have the best flavor. I'm just disclosing on because I want you to give it a try and know that you're gonna wanna hide it in a smoothie, okay? Whereas these other ones you could put on top of a smoothie, and I think they have such great texture and flavor. This one doesn't, but that's because this one is a powerhouse, and it is truly a superfood. It is filled with lignans, and lignans is a plant compound, and flaxseed has over 800 lignans. That is helping to reverse disease. It's helping everything in our body to do some serious healing and cell turnover. And so I'm such a big fan of this. So it's really great for women, for all of our woman health. Is that a word? I don't know. But last but not least, cacao. Okay, so I like this cacao in the powder form and in nibs. I'm gonna show you. I don't need it because I had the chocolate protein powder. Well, you know what? We'll just throw a little in. Cacao is so great. Unprocessed chocolate cacao powder is so rich. It's such a great antioxidant, and it's really, really good for you. So again, you could sprinkle it on top. It's great on oatmeal. You can mix it in oatmeal with a little maple syrup, cut up a banana. There's so many different ways that I use this, even making a natural hot chocolate with just some milk, again, some syrup or some stevia. And it's good for you. So who doesn't love that? Last but not least, if you see my stories, you know I am the biggest fan of cacao nibs. So I had them in a little baggie, and I just wanted you to be able to see. So these cacao nibs is gonna be just like the cacao powder, but in these little nib forms. They're very crunchy. I am a sucker, I love crunch. And so after I blend this up, I like to sprinkle it on top so I have a little bite to it. Again, it's like a superfood antioxidant. So there you go. I hope this gave you a lot of options, a lot of ideas, right? Don't feel like you need to take this idea and run with it, but just implementing 1 or 2 of these ideas can really add some health and nutrition to your daily food. And it's just a great way to have something in your body that's good for you, that tastes great. All of it's inexpensive and can be found at either Trader Joe's or Costco. So hope that this helped you. Let me know if you're gonna try any of these or if you're already a fan or a favorite of any of them. Okay, so we are back here in my backyard, in my sunroom. I just love being in this space. And I'm thrilled because I am going to share with you my 5 favorite things that I am enjoying this spring going into the summer. Who doesn't love a favorite things part of the show, right? I'm going to start with this pyramid of goodness. I don't know if you have tried this yet, but if you haven't, run, don't walk to your Trader Joe's, and you're going to want to grab this chili onion crunch. Girls, it's a game changer for our meals. I mean, truly, there is nothing that it doesn't make just better. So whether you want to put it on your protein and you're thinking fish, I just had it on fish the other night, chicken, meat, any kind of protein like that, it just makes it better. And then also it's incredible on vegetables, roasted or plain. I love it on my salad, and it's even wonderful just sprinkled on like quinoa or a brown rice mixture or something like that. Don't mind the noises going on because we're in the backyard, Wabi Sabi, right? So we've got real life going on all around us, but just embracing that we can be out here finally after this long winter. So I highly encourage you to grab this and give it a try and just play with it. Because like I said, I haven't put it on something that I don't love. A little goes a long way, so you don't need a lot. It's got some great ingredients, and truly, I mean, we've got the chili, so I love a spice. We've got the crunch in the onion and this wonderful flavored oil, and it is really to die for. So there you go. And if I grabbed maybe one too many, my bad. Please reach out if you need to try one of mine. I would be willing to share. So, second thing on my list for favorite things in spring and summer are these awesome Bluetooth indoor-outdoor tiki light speakers, okay? How fun are these? I know that music is my happy place. So whether I am home alone or hosting a whole bunch of people, I always have music on. And so it hooks up right up to your phone. Spotify, Napster, if you're an old school like me, please send suggestions if you have a way that I can get my 800 songs off Napster and onto something else. But these are fabulous. You can tilt them. They're really like they're sturdy, and they are meant to be in the outdoors. And so they play your music, they hook right up to your phone, so you can dim them and have all those kind of controls right there. But super fun. I will link any of this stuff that isn't at Trader Joe's. I will link it to my website and after in like kind of the show notes. But those definitely have earned a number 2 spot of my favorite things. I just think they're awesome. Now, girls, we are heading into swimsuit season. I know, I feel like we should play the dun 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 music. And it's taken me a long time to make peace with everything about this season and what it means. And so keeping with the concept and the meaning of Wabi Sabi, I hope that we all can embrace our bodies and that we can have a fun-filled summer and be at the pool. And there's no more starving ourselves for the pool parties, right? We want to take in and live life to the fullest. One of the greatest things I gave to myself was the permission to wear shorts. I am embarrassed to tell you how long I didn't think I could wear shorts. And you know, I would be one of those people that it would be 90 degrees and I would be in full long pants or jeans or leggings, and people would be looking at me like, oh my God, aren't you just dying of heat? And I'd be like, no, really. I chose this path. I'm good. I wasn't good. I felt ashamed of my legs and my thighs and the way shorts looked on me. And so I am just hoping that we can hang up this idea of a perfect body and a perfect look, because there is no such thing, and we are all beautiful, flaws and all. With that being said, I want to share something that helps me to feel a little bit better about wearing shorts or going into swimsuit season. And that is, it's called Tanologist. Tanologist is the brand. I got these from Target. I actually found them from a TikTok, wouldn't you know. They are $19 at Target, and what it is it's a self-tanner, even though it does not look like a self-tanner. It's totally clear, and it doesn't have a funky odor. Thank you. And so it is gonna be like a self-tanner, but you mix it in your moisturizer. And so at night, whatever moisturizer you're using, you're gonna put, I did it last night. I don't know if you can tell, but I did it last night. I pumped some of my moisturizer in my hand, and then it recommends using 2 to 6 drops. I just did 2 drops, and I think less is more when it comes to, you know, darkening your skin. And then you just take it and then you mix it right in the moisturizer. I got a little, like, you know, well mixed, and I rubbed it all over my face and my neck and my arms. And I love how it looks. It's this warm, soft glow. It's nothing like the Friends episode where Ross did a self-tanner. Oh my gosh, that was such a good one. But, so it's really soft, it's really warm. And this, just to give you some reference, these are the medium drops. There's light, medium, and dark. So I think you could play around with any of them. I thought medium felt safe, and I've been really happy with it. It's not an every night kind of thing for me, but it's definitely gonna be a nice little pick-me-up if I know that I'm going somewhere fun and just wanting a little bit of a glow, because truthfully, between you and me, I always have my sunscreen on. So I'm probably not gonna get a lot of the natural sun color, but I'm glad to have found these. I think they're really, really fun. So my fourth and fifth favorite thing is me being a little vulnerable. So I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but let's do it. So here I am in my favorite swimsuit and my favorite cover-up. And I share because I genuinely care, and I know how stressful swimsuit shopping can be. And I really want you to see that I love this swimsuit and this cover-up, both from Amazon. Okay, this swimsuit, which I think is so flattering on everyone, this high neck and this belted version here. It was $31.99 at Amazon. I mean, seriously, you cannot beat that. So girls, I embrace you all having the same suit and us just rocking it out at the pool parties this summer. And the cover up was $18.99. So I love this even with like jean shorts or jeans and a tank top underneath. I think it's super versatile. So it only felt right to disclose my favorite swimsuit and my favorite cover up going into the season. I will have all the links below so you can go and pick out something that makes you feel oh so comfortable and oh so confident. So I just want to wrap up this show, and I want to first thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you have enjoyed it half as much as I have enjoyed doing this and sharing some of my favorite things, some of the tips and tools that set me up for having a good day. I hope that you have found them helpful. I would love for you to connect with me and tell me what you liked or what you might be adopting. And I want to really encourage you to dive in and to give yourself permission of this Wabi Sabi concept and to make peace with the incompleteness of our homes and our house projects and all of the things on our to-do list, and to hang up the idea of, you know, this perfect body, this perfect season, this perfect relationship, which we know doesn't exist, right? And so embrace the imperfectness that is in our friends and in our families and in our relationships. And most importantly, to embrace the imperfections that we are so quick to point out in ourselves. And really instead replace that with the idea of being open and being grateful and present to seeing all the magic that we are and that is always around us in this crazy, messy, hard life. And so I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I would love to stay connected and come back and do some more. Take care and make it a great day.